today is Startup Tale number 48. And it's a story between two different startups that started in 2009, 2010. And they both raised 4.7 million, or excuse me, startup A raised 4.7 million. They had an MVP done, and they were to go from 0 to 100 customers extremely quickly. Huge press releases, tons of inbound leads. And all in all, year to date, as of today, they've raised 175 million total. And this is kind of startup A. This is the tale of one startup. Now, the tale of the second startup, same time, 2009, 2010, raised, the first round was 10 million versus 4.7. And it took them 2.5 years before they were to get to 1.7 million in ARR. Startup A was in almost every single competitive deal. And there was a knife fight because they were the exact same product, attacking the same problem in the exact same way. Startup B was able to raise 229 million total funding. Now, what happened, right? This is a story of two different companies in the identity space. So OneLogin started out guns blazing. They were first to market. They had most of the customers to the very beginning. And then OKTA essentially came to the market a little bit later with an actual product and then actual customers. But fast forward, let's see, 9 years, the market cap, OneLogin is maybe around $1 billion. They have 2,000 customers, whereas OKTA has 4,700 customers and around a $15 billion market cap. Now, what's the moral of the story here? All right. There's two to three things that you noticed uniquely different between these two different companies and how they were able to divert. And the key thing that I think is interesting is the founders of OneLogin came from Zendesk and the founders of OKTA came from Salesforce. So one of the things that was unique was the founders had a very enterprise approach from the very beginning. And they partnered with a VC firm, Andreessen, to raise more capital than Startup A. So about $6 million more capital out of the gate to build the enterprise sales team straight out of the gate. And that, of course, took a lot of time to close these very large customers. But it was a bet that both the venture capital partner and the founders wanted to tackle. And that decision to get that extra funding and partner with the VC firm led to these additional customers that they got were really in the focus on the enterprise space. Yes, they had SMB. Yes, they had mid-market. Mm-hmm. But because they were able to solve the problems of the largest companies, that produced the asymmetrical revenue, which then Wall Street rewarded because of their growth.
Yeah.
So one is partnership. Two is their previous experience. And then three, is that the vision of the technology was more than just single sign-on with this company. Like the vision was, an identity network and moving into mobile. It was so, being from the inside, I got to see that their vision was much larger. And in return, the customers kind of followed as well. So the lesson I guess I'll leave you with is those three things. And why I feel like that's important is, for the founders that I talk to, the low-hanging fruit is always going to be whatever it's working right now. But with the lesson to learn here is having that back end. Like if I'm going to go for it, I want to go for it at this, I gotta at least give myself a chance to go for it at a larger level. Because otherwise, it's essentially, that's the difference between these two different companies is their ability to go for it, but also execute on it. So I think that's the lesson I want to leave you with Startup Tale number 48.